You're listening to the Lux Life Discovered podcast, where we talk with people who are living a lifestyle that reflects their passion, because we believe everyone should be living their best life, their Lux Life. The show is hosted by Rick Steiner with Steiner Event Group, a premier national event planning company, and co-hosted by Shannon Richmond, the Vice President of the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notifications of future episodes. The show is produced by 30A Media and is broadcast on your favorite podcast outlets, as well as YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TVs, and other major brand smart TVs.
Hello, I'm Rick Steiner. Welcome to Lux Life Discovered. My guest today is Adina Preston. Adina, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Adina is a local photographer in the Destin area, but works all over the Gulf Coast and actually probably wherever you want her to go.
Yes.
You pay the travel fee, she will work, right?
Definitely, yeah. Europe, just let's
Europe.
prioritize.
She has a minimal requirements. There you go. I like that. So how did you get into photography and what created your interest in that field?
Well, my background is in marketing. I finished marketing and management. And I came to the United States visiting my aunt. And I bought my ticket for 3 weeks. And while I was here, I was in Boca, South Florida, and she was a single mom. And as soon as I got here, she all of a sudden started making all these friends through me, and she didn't let me go home. So a few years later, I got married to a coastie, a Coast Guard guy, and because a coastie, yeah, we call them coasties, and because I could not practice my marketing in the locations where we were at, I had to pick up something else. So I worked for a marketing company in South Carolina, and I would take photos I would assist real estate agents with their marketing efforts, and I would go out and take photos of the properties that they had for sale. And I didn't know anything about photography at the time, but my boss was gracious enough to allow me to take a photography course at Charleston Center for Photography, and that was my basis. That's how I started. It was like a 3 months course, once a week, every single, I can't remember what day it was, but that was like my basic.
Did you have any idea at that time that you were going to do like photography on this level?
I did not. And looking back, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, even though I had the marketing degree. In Romania, your parents kind of guide you. They tell you what to do. So going back, I would not have done marketing, but I did not know. But my dad always had a camera, and he had film cameras, the Russian film cameras, but he wouldn't develop the film in a dark room. Like, he would just take photos and then hand them over. However, I think I kind of followed in his footsteps, and I would always be the photographer everywhere we went with all my friends. So I think that was, I think it was meant to be in a way.
I just didn't know. You just didn't know. Yeah.
Yes.
So what was your first big event or job that you did that you're like, dang, this is me. This is what I want to do?
When you get into photography, I think it takes a while to find your niche. So I think what launched my photography career was living in Kodiak, Alaska, and winning a couple of big contests.
Right.
So I would go out in the middle of the night and shoot the northern lights, and I would sell the prints, and I submitted my photography to the visitor center, I guess the Kodiak Visitor Center, for their magazine, and I won 2 years in a row first place. And that's how I started selling the prints, and that's how people kind of started to know my name, and it took off from there. But then I moved to Seattle, and
Northern Lights were gone.
Yes. Yeah. I moved to Seattle, and I said, from selling landscapes, you don't make that much money. Yeah. And I got to Seattle, this big city. I'm like, what am I going to do right now? I did not want to do infant photography. I did not want to do family photography. I felt like what would fit my personality was weddings. So those 2 years when I was there, I shadowed a few really good photographers, wedding photographers, and I built my portfolio. I did a lot of style shoots, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah. So how long have you been in the Destin area?
I've been in the Destin area for about 6 years. Okay. This year is my 6th year.
And when we say Destin area, we mean the Gulf Coast,
the
not just strictly Destin, of course. But yeah. So what has been the difference working in this area as opposed to other areas? Because, you know, trends are different, styles are different. And if you're like me, not being here all the time, I see some styles and trends that come in that have been in and out other places or hasn't hit yet. So it's always interesting to me to see the different trends.
I would say that Seattle is completely different than the Emerald Coast. It's a big city. The locations are different. The venues are different. People are different. A lot of the people there are locals, whereas here people come on vacation. This is a destination wedding area. So everything is different. Like, I did not expect to shoot so many weddings on the beach, and I still have a lot of my portfolio from Seattle because it's so diverse over there. Like, the beaches look different. I have mountains, I have everything, but here I only have the beach, you know. So yeah, it's very, very different, and the budgets are also different. From a big city from Seattle coming to this area it's very different, even from Pensacola to 38.
Right. Oh, definitely. Yes. And my worst thing that the client can tell me is like, there's really no budget. Well, there is a budget, and you know, if they say there's not a budget, there is a budget. They just don't want to tell you until you give them what they asked for, and they're like, oh, we need to cut that back, and it's like, that's why we need a budget.
Yes, and I think a lot of people, they have a budget, but I tell everyone, allocate your money towards the most important things. And for me, if I were to get married again, I would put my money towards photography, the DJ, and the planner. Those 3 are key to have a wonderful wedding that is stress-free, and you look back and you're like, wow. Because that day is gonna go by in a blink of a second, and
you want
all
to be
you're
a bride
gonna be
that
left.
day.
Yes.
And you want your mother to be mother of the bride, not planner, not worrying about details.
And micromanage everything. You and your family as a bride need to take a step back and just enjoy the day.
Yeah. You know, that's all good advice. I give that same advice. My daughter got married a few years ago. Did we get a planner? No, because I thought I just didn't even think about it. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, why did I not take my advice? You know?
Yes.
And like walking down the aisle, it's like we were running, and she's like, Dad, I'm gonna fall, slow down.
Yes.
And the adrenaline was so my son-in-law, you're really ready to get rid of her. I'm like, I didn't think about it. You know,
that way, right?
But so I didn't take my own advice, and it should have. But,
well, I have a 7-year-old. You see him right there behind us. And I told him, I'm not going to be your photographer. You're already.
So you better.
But I will spend the money on a good photographer.
That's great. I know it's funny how we sometimes eat our own words and kind of forget what we say sometimes.
Yes.
But that's good. Yeah.
Yes.
So what your weddings that you've done? Of course, you do more than weddings. We want to make sure people understand that.
Yes.
You do.
So my bread and butter is weddings.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of corporate events, and I do a lot of branding photography, headshots, even family photo shoots. I don't advertise for them. I just do them for the people that are close to me, people that ask me. But I never limit myself. I also do sports photography, fitness photography. I'm an athlete myself, so I'm very comfortable and familiar with the movements. So I do a lot of fitness shoots as well.
That's good. Yeah. So you really can cover a whole spectrum.
Except for infant photography.
Well, no, that's good, because a lot of people are in like one little niche, and then they're not comfortable going outside of that. So that's really good that you're flexible.
It is. I am flexible, and even seniors, it's easy. Maternity shoots, it's all. Everything is. I think the infant. I keep joking around with the infant photography because I think that's a completely different. Setup, and you have to have a studio, and you have to have all these props, and you have to have patience.
Yeah, that would be where I would lose it right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you never know. You've got to, sometimes a little child will work with you well, and
Mm-hmm.
then the other time it's like it's not going to happen.
Yes.
You know, no matter what you
Yes.
do.
Yes.
In fact, my grandchildren, they all had that first photo shoot, and some of the pictures, I'm like, why did they do that? You know, it's like I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But hey, that's me and
I agree.
my age.
Yes.
But yeah, so so where do you have like particular venues, or do you like shooting at the beach? Let me ask you that first of all, because
I love the beach. I am not a beach girl. I am a mountain girl more
oh,
so,
really? Okay. Yeah.
and a city girl. I don't mind shooting at the beach, even though in the summertime it's hard to run around with two big cameras on my hips.
Yeah.
I have a gear. My gear is a spider harness that I use. They sponsor me, so I love it, and I only use that. But it's still hard to walk on sand with two big cameras with big lenses. So I would, if I had the choice, I would shoot at a venue and not on sand, but I cannot get to pick.
And also the sun is
and the sun.
that's kind of, how do you adjust for that? Because I know some people are like, you know, the pictures, they're not as pleased with the pictures from the beach, but I mean, when it's bright sunny day, I mean,
I can shoot in any condition. Like my cameras and my gear are high quality, so I never worry about how high the sun is in the sky. Of course, I prefer you know, dawn or sunset, golden hour.
Right.
But I really don't have I mean, my photos, my gear just performs so well.
Yeah. Well, when you're good, you know what you're doing, it helps.
Yeah, it helps to know what you're doing, and it also helps, you know, to have good gear.
Yes.
It really does. And that's why I invested so much money into my gear, and it's always, it really matters. It really does.
So when you were making the investment into all of your gear, cameras and everything, how do you know when to stop? You know what I'm saying? Because because there's so much you could buy and so many different little tools you could add here or there, or you know, attachments and that type thing. So
throughout the years, I simplified my workflow. I have on a wedding day, I have a big bag anyway where I bring all my lenses, but I still have my favorites go-tos, like my macro lens I use for my details. Then I have a wide for receptions and for the ceremonies, and I have a zoom also for the ceremonies. So I have my staple items in my bag.
Right.
And if something breaks, then I have a backup. I also have two cameras with two dual slots that in case one card corrupts, the other one picks up, and I don't have to worry about it. I have a third camera in my bag. So all these things, people don't know that when they hire me, you know, when you hire a seasoned photographer, I have standards that I need to, you know, I mean, if I charge the money and I have the experience, then, you know, I need to have the gear to back that up. Exactly. Yes.
That's true.
So
that's a good point.
I mean, I don't think you ever stop. I always want new things.
Yeah.
Like right now I was looking at my lenses. I want to convert them to the newer versions. But you gotta have to also choose your battles, you know. Nobody will see the difference more than you.
Well, and at the level you are, that's the price tag goes up with those ones too, because that's those cameras and lenses are not inexpensive.
They're not, especially good gear.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you have maintenance for the cameras and the lenses. Like right now I have a lens I have to send in to Canon to fix because I cannot use it. So there's little things that, you know, break and depreciation. So it's a lot that goes into our business that people don't know.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yes, but I mean, look, I just got that little DJI Osmo, the one that Rowan is using, and that's just for little snapshots for social media. So it's always going to be something that I'm going to want.
Right. What has been your biggest challenge with an event or a wedding that you have encountered?
I think I work well with any vendor. Sometimes in the past in Seattle, for example, people are more demanding, I guess, and some planners are more demanding than others. I think one of the biggest struggles with some of those were where the planner or the vendors wouldn't allow a lot of time for photography. So when I'm in a little bit of a time timeline, right? When I need to be creative, sometimes the creativity just goes out the window, and you can't. Yeah. So I think I had some conversations where I was trying to make the couples understand and the planners understand that, you know, you're hiring me, and I am hired by the bride and the groom, so I need to have time to get what I need, my shots, my photography, when the light is still there. That's probably the only thing that I can say. You know, and it hasn't happened that many times, you know.
Right. Well, most people, especially planners, have done this while they understand all the different components. So the photography is such a huge part.
It is,
and so you have to give that time frame to make sure that the client gets everything they want.
But you know, it's just like photography and any other business that you start, you just learn things along the way, and you don't think about certain things or you don't see it for the other vendors as well. But I mean, you know, it's always a learning curve.
Oh yeah, and when you refuse to learn, you're going to decline in everything you do. So
yes,
because it's easy to want to be set and like, well, I've always done it that way. I don't want to do it a different way. And for me, that's one of the big things, that I have to be flexible, because every situation is different. Every couple is different.
Yes. And I think the other thing that I've heard in the past with people like brides reaching out to me, when I started many, like 16 years ago, I would hear people on Craigslist, right? Because I advertised my businesses in Craigslist too. Remember those times?
Right. Oh, yes.
And then I would get ghosted by this bride saying that, oh, I found my friend is we just decided to go with my friend taking photos.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten those kind of answers recently because, you know, I grew too. But I still, you know, if I have friends that we have a conversation about their own wedding coming up, and if I hear anything like that, I always like, nope, no, I'll do it for free for you, but please don't hire a friend that doesn't know what they're doing.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna let you go through that. So I'd rather do it for them for free than for them to just ruin that day for themselves.
Right, because they're going to have regrets and not have the photos they want. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And photography, that's like planning, hiring a planner sometime, hiring the right photographer.
Yes.
That's where many couples think they can skip, or not skip completely because they think they skip the planner. But photography, they think, oh, we can get somebody who can do it a little, less expensive, and don't really think about it until it's after the fact, and then it's like, no, you shouldn't have done that.
Oh my gosh, I've seen so many weddings, different weddings. We come in second after you guys. Yeah. Like if you're not there, I'm the one that keeps everybody.
Well, you become the planner.
I become the planner and the day off coordinator. I am the one that has the timeline and keeps everybody on track, because otherwise it would be mayhem, really.
So they've essentially got the photographer and a free planner in you.
Yes, they do.
Not, no, you're not advertising that.
I'm not advertising.
Right, to make sure people know that, because that's sometimes the caterer gets thrown in that same position. So,
yes, for sure. Like I wear so many hats on a wedding day, from the boutonniere, master boutonniere, to master wedding dress fluffer, to keeping everybody on the timeline, to bringing drinks for everyone, you know, like there's so many
all the
pieces.
Things that are in your contract,
all the things, but I do them because I love my work and I love what I do. And
and if we work with great vendors, everybody pitches in and does more than they should.
Yes,
outside
always. Those are the best times.
Norm, but it's just part of that good cohesive group, and when it doesn't go like that, it shows.
Definitely, yes.
So, what would you like to shoot that you haven't shot before? Is there anything like a particular area, particular event, or something that?
I would love to shoot a wedding in Italy.
Okay. Italy is like the place to be right now.
Yeah. Well, I took a trip with my son a couple of years ago, and it was just beautiful. It reminded me of home so much. I'm from Bucharest, so Rome was just like Bucharest. But then we went down in Amalfi Coast, and then we went to Umbria, which is in Tuscany. So I would just love to be in Tuscany and shoot a couple of weddings there. Yeah. Some nice castles.
We have a lady at where we live in Kentucky who just bought a place in Italy. And so amazing.
We're all gonna move in with her.
It was just a surprise to think that she did that. And she's like, I always loved that area. And something about when her father was in World War II, there was a family that took him in or something, and they've always had this connection. And so that's why she bought the place in Italy. And she's like, anytime you and Deb want to go, just let me know.
Yeah, we're all going.
Yeah, we're all going. So now I've got a whole house full. But it's amazing how the world's so big, but it's so small at the same time.
It's very small, very, very small. Yeah, but here in the area, my purpose right now is to connect with a lot of the venues. I mean, I've photographed so many venues here, but there's also venues that I have not photographed. So I've been making it a point where I'm reaching out to a lot of the sales directors or venue directors, just to introduce myself, stop by, tour the venue, and hopefully get on the preferred vendors list. That has been my goal for 2026.
Yeah, good deal. And are you on the vendor list for Alys?
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I knew that, but yeah.
Yes.
Make sure that, yeah.
My favorite venue here.
That has been such a fun venue to work at, and then to work with Kristen and her team.
I love Kristen.
Yeah, they have done an amazing job, and of course that's how we all met. And,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good people, and it's so important. Like, I thrive having good people around me, genuine people. So it always makes my heart full and happy when we all come together, and the event like the Songwriters Festival was amazing to me.
Yeah, we had a lady on before you came in who's a songwriter, and I was telling her about the Songwriter Festival, and I said that was my first time to be at one. And how much fun it was to have the local talent, the national talent that was here, but just to see everybody got along. And then when they all did their different performances, wow, that was amazing. Yeah.
I didn't even feel like I was working. I mean, I just felt like I was just there having fun. And
yeah, it's kind of like, oh, I have a job to do here. I'm not,
Yeah, it was great. So a lot of my events, a lot of my weddings, I've been blessed enough to not have craziness happening during my weddings. If I had to put a percentage, it would be 0.2% in so many hundreds of weddings that I've shot. So I've been blessed. Maybe I'm just manifesting positivity.
Well, you're getting the right clientele, and you're also vetting those that,
Yes, definitely. You can definitely tell.
Yeah, I can talk to a bride or a corporate client, and within 5 minutes know whether I should take the job or not.
Yeah, and it's okay to say no too.
Yeah, I've learned that too, because there was one of each that the money was great, and I thought I can work through it, and by the time it was over, they could pay me 5 times as much, and it still wouldn't have been worth it.
Yes.
So it's okay to say no sometimes. You got to get to that point where you can convince yourself, because sometimes you're your worst critic, and
I completely understand that. Yeah. I agree with that statement. I am my worst critic for sure. Yeah. But yes, I think it's part of the job.
Right.
Well,
we have to be, because everybody's critiquing what we do, and so I think that makes us do it even more.
Yes.
But somewhere you've just got to have that confidence to come out and say, hey, this is why I do what I do, and I'm going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, your worth, right? Like, you've worked hard. You wake up every day with a smile on your face, and you want to be happy, like most days.
I know.
Yeah, I know, most days. But you want to be happy, you want to love what you do. So I think saying no to someone or, some situation that you don't feel connected to is okay, because that's kind of, instead of pushing you backwards, it can propel you further.
Yeah. Another thing I learned too is respecting yourself.
Yes,
because
respecting yourself is number one.
So many people, regardless of how good you are at what you do, they just want a cheap price. They don't care. So when somebody calls me and says, what is your fee for doing this? I'm like, well, what all do you need? They're like, I just want to know what your fee is. I'm like, if you're not interested in what I do or what I bring to the table, you don't want me, because if fee is what determines it, we're not a fit.
Yes, a lot of people look at the budgets before the value, and maybe that was one of the other struggles that you were asking me about, like trying to educate people that if you are paying a higher price, it comes with more value,
right,
and experience, and the gear, and me fun, you fun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, and nothing worse than somebody that goes with somebody less expensive and then calls and wants all the different answers, and because they're not getting them, and it's like.
But those are not our people.
Right.
So that's why
and
we
that's
get to pick and choose.
Again, it's about respecting your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what does the rest of 2026 hold for you?
Gosh, I wish I had. You have a crystal ball?
Right, yeah. But you've got a lot of corporate events coming up. You have
I
weddings.
have, yes. I do a lot of networking events. You probably see me everywhere.
Yes.
I've been active for the last 2 years networking for my branding photography more so, but I've met a lot of brides that way as well. And I've met amazing vendors. So I always love to hang out with vendors in the wedding industry, including photographers. Like, I don't see photographers as competition.
Right.
I see them assets, and I see them friends. They're friendlies, because we always can recommend each other. And
well, you learn from other people too, or you can kind of see what works for them sometime.
And we help each other. Like if I can give them a wedding when I'm booked in on a day, and I can help someone else make money, why wouldn't I want to do that?
A vendor that is on the list at the Alys too is Addison.
Addison, yes.
Yes, and
Addison,
starts with a K. Ain't that bad? But Weddings Madison, I guess, is her planning service.
Yeah.
And so Addison K Weddings, yeah. And so, but she is someone that I've really connected with, and so if there was something that I couldn't do, I would feel comfortable saying, "Hey, this is who I recommend."
Yes, she's great.
And you really need to have that person in your own group, because you don't want to. I don't want to do it all. I like to travel. We've got grandchildren that are small and young and all that. So I don't want to work every weekend.
Yeah, no, she's a good choice for you, for sure.
She's great. Yeah, I've really enjoyed getting to know her, so that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems like we're at the Alys all the time. It's like I think Kristen has a bedroom upstairs for all of us.
Well, my wife and I were in Destin for a couple of days this week, and we were at the Alys yesterday before we left to come over to Destin, and we were walking around the property at the Alys, and I was telling my wife, I said, Kristen was with us, and I said, I told Kristen last time I was here, I said, we need to talk to the owner about selling the property to us. And I said, we're going to take Arthur's. That's going to be our new mobile home. We're going to downsize. And Debbie's like, well, I think we could do that. And she goes, Kristen's like, I told him we could just take cottages across the street. Everybody get a cottage. But no, he wants Arthur's because it's closer to the water.
Definitely. I'm going to be taking those pictures. So just saying.
Well, listen, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been like I told you, it's very informal, just relaxed.
Yes, I figured that we would just have a conversation.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you had this whole setup here.
Oh, yes. Paul and John with 38 TV, they do it right, and they make it all look good. So, yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this.
The final product.
The final product, yes.
And then we're going to put your information on the screen, so if people want to reach out to you, they can do so through your Instagram, through your email, or go to your website. And that way, if you need a great photographer, Adina's the one to contact, and she can take care of you and make your special day memorable forever. Do you do videography as well?
I work with great videographers, but I don't do it myself.
Okay.
I used to do it, not anymore, but I do have, I think between you and I have a lot of good connections with videography.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
And maybe he will turn into videographer myself.
There you go. So we're looking at one over here now. That's good. All right, well, thank you again for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been fun, Now we can go party.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of Lux Life Discovered. We will see you soon.
Check out Lux Life Discovered on Facebook and Instagram and on 30a.tv. See you next time on Lux Life Discovered.